Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to be reacting to special episode Vaibhav Shiva. I know I said that wrong, I just don't know how to say it. The Glorious Ways of Shiva. So I've read a lot of y'all's comments and I get it. So Brahma, at least from one person said there's many Brahmas out there. And another person I remember saying that Brahma created Shiva's body. And Shiva never had a body until Brahma created it. Someone also said that Brahma just created Earth. So there's a lot of things out there, and there's many, again, another one, I think I said this a little bit earlier, that there's many different Brahmas out there. There's the Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma as the three major, I do believe. And then someone else said that Brahman is consciousness, pure existence that has always been there. And I guess Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma were all created under Brahma. So I try to read y'all's comments. I can't just always go and reply all the time. I've been getting worse at it, honestly. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I just want to keep you guys up to date. The fact that I do read your comments whenever I can. I just can't always reply back. I've been doing terrible lately. It's going to be split into two parts, just because
I'm not a worshipper. I have never prayed to Shiva or to anybody in my life. Never, not even once. But he's been my breath and being always.
just because it's been long, it's a long video. Maybe 47 minutes, I believe.
So here we are exploring and expounding the glorious ways of Shiva. The only way you can grasp what's happening here in the next 7 days is the first part of Shiva's teaching was to Parvati, his wife. It was taught in a certain intimacy, in a certain closeness, certain lack of resistance from the other person. If you want to grasp this, you have to sit here like the Devi herself, otherwise that part of Shiva's ways will be totally out of reach. Shiva expounded various types of yogas, every kind. The most gentle and compassionate yoga, the most ruthless forms of yoga, both were expounded. Because with him, he has no qualms about anything. He has no morality, he has no right and wrong. For him, his body is just an instrument. Everything in the existence is just an instrument to ultimate realization. So depending upon the level of preparedness of the person who is sitting in front of him, accordingly he went. Shiva, the Adi Yogi, came to an inner state of stillness, where if he closes his eyes, he can sit like this till the end of the world. Simply he sat. Himalaya Many of you just went there and came. The mountain is personified. The king of Himalayas had a daughter whose name was Parvati. So Himalaya and Parvati came and started serving Shiva where he was sitting and meditating. After many millennia, he opened his eyes and blessed Himalaya, and then he saw Parvati. Then he told Himalaya, it is improper for you to bring a woman where there is an ascetic. You take her away. Immediately, Parvati said, why are you rejecting me? And who are you to reject me? You are the basic principle of the existence. These two are known as Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the masculine, Prakriti is the feminine. Prakriti also means nature. Purusha is the fundamental principle, Prakriti is creation. You are Purusha, but without Prakriti, there is no action in you. You are just inert. You cannot do anything by yourself unless there is Prakriti. Shiva said, I can dismiss and dissolve Prakriti right now. I created it. If I want, I will dissolve it this moment. Don't talk to me all this nonsense, you go. Then Parvati said, if you have so much power that you can dissolve Prakriti, why are you doing this asceticism? And why are you sitting in these mountains? These mountains are Prakriti, the air that you breathe is Prakriti, the sky is Prakriti, everything is Prakriti. And if you dissolve this, you will have no role to play, you will just become inert, absolute emptiness which you are. He liked the argument and the spunk in her, but he still pretended to be very angry and asked her to leave. She refused to leave. She has been performing immense austerities to become the wife of Shiva. She was completely determined and focused, her only focus was this single point agenda she was going on. Then people interfered and Shiva decided to marry her. He married, but there was no involvement. He still lived as an ascetic. She was beside him, he accepted her, but he still continued as an ascetic.
I'm gonna look up that word real quick. Ascetic. Oops, why did you go to acid for? Acetic acid. Unless that's of or like vinegar or acetic acid. Maybe you have to put Hindu? Hinduism, okay. Reunification from the worldly life and the pursuit of spiritual life, either from a part of a monastic community or a hermit, has been a historical tradition in Hinduism since ancient times. Why? Practicing strict self-denial as a measurement of personal or especially spiritual discipline. An ascetic monk, an ascetic diet. Why did she have to leave though? The definitions don't seem to make too much sense. I'm missing
How will
something,
she
I'm
find
sure.
fulfillment as a woman? So she was desperate to have a child. So when Shiva was not there, when she was having bath on the banks of Kanti Sarovar, where some of you happen to go this time, she took out the sandal paste that she had smeared on her body, plus a little earth, and formed a little boy out of it and infused life, because she wanted to enjoy the child, because she's been cursed to be barren. And Ganapati was born.
Whoa, when did she become cursed to be barren? Is it like is it because Shiva wouldn't, or she could never in the first place?
Shiva was in the mountains meditating. After about 12 years' time, he came back. By then, Ganapati has grown into a 12-year-old boy. Parvati was having bath, so she had asked Ganapati to watch out so that nobody comes this way. He was standing guard for his mother. Shiva came. He was in a certain mood, he was just walking in. After 12 years, he's walking into the house. Ganapati stopped him, said, "You cannot enter." He asked, "Who?"
I gotta rewind that. I was paying attention to I missed what he said. Oh man, I would love to go see with this. My first time ever watching anything live was Anne Frank's Diary. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I absolutely loved the theater of it. And now I kind of, now that I've done it, I don't necessarily have to go to one. Kind of like I've never been on a train, so I want to go on a train just to say that I've done it. But I wouldn't mind going to watching one of these things.
To watch out so that nobody comes this way. He was standing guard for his mother. Shiva came.
I missed that part.
He was in a certain mood, he was just walking in. After 12 years, he's walking into the house.
And who are these? I'm guessing that's the wife, I guess. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's the son or Shiva. I don't think so. Unless okay, that might be the mother in the background. That's the child, preventing Shiva from coming in, maybe.
Ganapati stopped him, said, "You cannot enter." He asked, "Who are you?" He said, "It doesn't matter who I am, you cannot enter." Shiva just took his axe out and chopped his head off. So the boy fell dead. And Parvati came from a bath and saw her son dismembered. She just went into such sorrow and angry with Shiva, she said, "You have to do something." Then he just came home and he killed his own son, and now his wife is angry, lot of trouble. Then he sent out his ganas, "Go out into the mountains. The first animal that you see, behead the animal, bring the head. I will resurrect this boy once again." So the first animal they saw was a baby elephant. So they chopped the head of the elephant, brought it. Shiva brought him back to life with an elephant head. So you see Ganapati with an elephant head.
I'm gonna bring my my logic into this. It's kind of weird. She brought this being to life, but why couldn't she do it again? Again, I am being nitpicky here, and I just but this is just something that I do. I wonder why couldn't she do it again? That's my wondering. Maybe, I guess, because Shiva did it, that he must do this now. He must, in a sense, repent for what he did, I guess.
Ganana tva ganana ganana tva ganapatim ganapatim tva ganana ganana tva ganapatim.
Okay, real quick. So who are the two guys on the side? As far as I could tell in the story, there was just the woman, the child, and Shiva. But there's 4 people there. I might have missed something, and let me know.
And when he saw Parvati's plight, desperately trying to fulfill herself through normal processes of life, Shiva, out of his compassion, said, "This is not the way for fulfillment." And then the yoga started. He started teaching the methods of self-realization to Parvati, saying that, Having children, bearing children is not going to really lead you to fulfillment. Here is the way, and he opened up the possibility of yoga. When we say ways of yoga, we are looking at getting mastery over the fundamental processes of life, the very process of creation and dissolution. In great detail and in such gentle ways, Shiva went about expounding the ways of yoga to Devi. The sutras, the Yoga Sutras of Shiva are such that almost in every sutra, he refers to her as the resplendent one, the gracious one, the beautiful one. So you need to understand that this teaching transpired between two people with utmost intimacy. Intimacy should not be understood as sexuality. Intimacy means there is no resistance. There is no need to fight through this person. This person is absolutely open to whatever is being offered. So it in such a state that these sutras were offered. So the sutras will be so subtle, so gentle. A thinking mind, an arguing mind will wonder, will such a thing work? But it worked miraculously for her, and she became fully realized. Here, if we have to expound yoga in Shiva's ways, you have to really sit in my lap, absolutely no resistance. Either you have to sit here like a Devi, or you have to sit here as a child. If you can't do this too, you just have to enjoy the party. We'll make sure the party is good. Shiva repeatedly referred to Devi as the resplendent one. So, you must be that way. You must dress that way, you must be that way so that I can refer to you that way, okay?
नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्माङ्गरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय।
When we say Shiva's teachings, we need to understand that we are not talking in terms of philosophies or ideas. These are purely methods. They're just methods to get a person moving from one state of consciousness to another. There is no teaching involved. There is no philosophy involved. Shiva is not a philosopher, he is a yogi. When I say he is not a philosopher, see, it's very easy to be philosophical. In fact, the less you know, the more the chances that you will become philosophical. It's very easy to become a philosopher.
Seems like it.
You just have to read a couple of books and misunderstand them. You can become a philosopher. The reason why you're talking about something that is written in a book is because you have not perceived, grasped life in any depth. If you had even read a single page of this vast existence, all your life you would be talking only that. There wouldn't be time to talk about anything else. So Shiva is a yogi, purely existential, not philosophical, not intellectual. This is not something that you can understand. This is not something that you have to be convinced about. This is not something that you have to agree with. This is something that you learn to relate with. If you can relate to it and experiment with it will do miraculous things for you. You could become as blissful as Devi became, that she just went mad as a March hare and romped about the mountains for many millennia. We'll curtail the time for you, but we got the mountains, we got the madness, we got everything. As he started expounding the various dimensions of yoga, Devi took on various forms. She became love, she became compassion, she became anger, she became fury, she became deadly.
Okay, so Devi, is that Shiva's wife? Did she change her name or something? Because she was called, I can't remember what her name was. Pakrusha, I believe, or something like that. I am terrible with names. But is her name now Devi? Because at the end of the story about the child, it seemed like the name changed. But at the same time, I thought maybe he was saying that as a general term, like a being of something, like a priest, you know, a title. Devi as being a title of someone who is maybe enlightened or just something. A Devi is a title given to someone that achieved something. But it seems like maybe Devi is her new name?
She became very pleasant, she became unpleasant, she took on every kind of form that could happen within the human consciousness. As she took on these forms, they went from the subtle to the more and more intense kind of forms. As Devi took on various forms, the seasons changed, the atmosphere in the world changed, because she is the Shakti, the basic energy behind the existence. As she went into many phases of her consciousness, everything around changed. And then he brought her to a state to make her realize all this is just a play of energy. She is none of these things. What she is beyond all these forms that she can take. And to harness that energy and make it happen the way it should happen is the science of yoga. And the explosion of yoga started. Shiva said, what you went through right now is just a play of your energy, this is not you. Then Devi asked, how do I realize that this is not me? Then Shiva gave her a simple process.
Sada vasantam, sada vasantam, sada vasantam.
The dancer who is here, her name is Anita Ratnam, probably most of you already know. She is one of the foremost exponents of fusion kind of Bharatanatyam. She is internationally acclaimed artist. She has performed almost every part of the world. So, she will be doing the Nadaradhana. This is a part of the Indian temple culture, that is, the puja or the worship was not just verbal. So people learn to use their whole body as a form of worship. Many of you're practicing Surya Namaskar, which is a form of worship, using the entire body to get into your worshipful activity within you. Similarly, dance also was used as a form of worship and as a form of involvement.
Hold on, I'm going to remove CC here just because I can't see their feet. It's not any kind of like that, it's just I love seeing when people dance and how they move their feet and everything, and it was in the way. I like paying attention to a lot of things, I suppose, especially in dance. CC back on.
You said, until you explode, I'm not your guru, I'm just your friend. Now I'm troubled. I want a guru. I've got a few friends already, but I want a guru. So here I am to explode. Please explode me.
So, I want you to understand, you're sufficiently packed with explosives, every one of you. Only thing is, some of you have kept it so damp it doesn't light up, or some of you don't know where the fuse is. So, I can easily light it up. If you're damp, we can dry you. The weather's cloudy, it is not assisting, but I can dry you up and light you up. You just have to allow it. So right now, you don't know how to allow. If I say, allow me to do it, aren't I allowing you? I came for the program, I'm sitting here, what else am I supposed to do? So you don't know what it means to allow. So right now I'm telling you, just be involved.
Yes.
Absolutely. Involvement does not mean, Shiva. That's not involvement. You just go, simply go. Total involvement.
I think I know what he's talking about, but it's very difficult. There's so much restraint, and it's basically letting go of everything. I think that's what he means by that. And that's the only thing I can think of, but I understand it being so difficult. I don't think I could ever do that. I mean, I don't know, maybe I could if I tried, I suppose. But I don't know, I don't think so. Even if I tried, I don't know.
Like, this is the last thing that you're going to do in your life. Like that you must do everything.
Yeah.
Every breath, every step, every word, every act. You must do it like this is the last thing you're going to do in your life.
I have a feeling if you think about it that way, yeah, you'll be able to do anything, I think. Just because, hey, look, this is it. I might as well do what I want without any restrictions, only at that moment. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I think Sadhguru did say that. Like, the only time that you actually ever let go of the restrictions you have on yourself is when you're about to die. And only then will you live life. I think was it Sadhguru that said it? I can't remember who. But it's generally really true. It's only when you come to realization that you have not lived life because you're about to die. And when you're about to die, that's when you start to want to live life. That's when you start living life, and it's already, by then you're too late, in a sense. And you need to live like that. Well, I won't say that. I think that's what Sadhguru said, and it makes sense, though. It does. I still, within myself, just always have this restriction, and maybe because of that I'm not living life to the fullest, but I'm okay with that. That's the main thing, in my opinion. It's just live life however you want. As long as you're okay with it, then by all means.
With that involvement, if you do, I'll explode you. Because you're packed with explosives. Every one of you. I don't have to, put any explosives into you. You are sufficiently packed. But damp or hiding the fuse. You don't know where the fuse is, you don't know how to light, you don't have a matchstick. I have all the fire you want. If you just show some involvement, we will explode you.
Okay, I'm going to pause right there because I know I'm going to be talking a lot, even though it's only been about 30 minutes. There's another 30 minutes left, and then who knows how long I'll be talking for. So that's at least the end of part one. I love the place. That's another thing again that I do want to still go and do. I mean, again, at least I've done it once, which was the Diary of Anne Frank. It was part of a reading class, and I didn't think I was gonna like it. I had to go do it, and I'm glad I did it. It was very good. It was well done. And now it's kind of like I said, like I want to go on a train just to, even if I'm sitting there, well, I have to try to enjoy it a little bit, I don't know how much of enjoyment you can get with the cheapest ticket. And then like going to like an opera or just any other kind of things to enjoy, I suppose, just to go do it. Going to theater, like in Japan with their, I think it's in Japan with the mass. It's really cool. I want to be able to experience that. I want to go watch this. Okay, and watch any kind of story in India, especially with the dealing with Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, or any mythology or whatever ways of life. I don't know what it's called over there. Kind of like in Greek Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Viking mythology, all those things. I love to just learn about the stories, and generally speaking, stories are a very good way of passing messages through people, because well, kids obviously love stories, and that's a good way to, you know, pass the story on to them. A good way to tell a how do I say, a way of life, a lesson for life, an example of life. You know, anything you can think of can be told to a story. And it's very entertaining as well. Well, anyways, that's part one of a special episode. I still don't know how to pronounce Vaibhav Shiva, the glorious voice of Shiva. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.